Hey everybody, Sean Holsinger here from holsingersflyshop.com. Bringing another time video this week. A very cool nymph pattern. It's the PMD trigger nymph. Really cool one that I found in one of my books. I'll get into that after the tying video. I want to get into tying right away for you here. Here you're going to see a picture of the fly and then the material list to tie it. Okay, here you see the PMD trigger nymph in the vise. Very cool looking little nymph, a merger style nymph, and let's get into tying it. For a hook, I'm using our Holsinger's Fly Shop nymph hooks. This is a size 14. And for the bead on this size 14, I'm using a 2.3 nickel bead. And then for thread, I'm just using some 12-aught nano silk. This is brown. Use whatever color you want here. Doesn't really matter. We'll just trim off our tag end. First thing we're going to do is put on a tail on this fly. For a tail, using some pheasant tail, and I'm just going to tear off like 3 to 5 pieces of fibers of pheasant tail there, and we're going to tie that on top. A couple loose wraps here, and then get this the length I want and make sure it's riding on top. I don't want this to be too long. I'm not trying to make a big long tail here. I want it to be natural looking and proportionate. And there we go. I like that length. We're going to do that right to the bend of the hook, and then we're just going to tear those fibers off. Next thing we're going to put on, I've used this one up a good bit here. This is a turkey biot. This is brown olive, and it's just a good all around natural color. I'm just going to take one strand of that turkey biot off, and I'm going to cut the tip off a little bit. Get it into a little bit meatier part of the feather end there, and tie it down. If you don't cut a little bit off, it's going to be hard to make that first wrap. You're going to break it just about every time, and I probably still might. Okay, wrap that on there, wrap it back to your tail, and then the best thing to do here is put just a little dab of super glue, and I mean a little bit. It doesn't take much, just enough to get a little bit on there to let the grip too. Because I'm not going to use wire to secure it down. I'm just going to use the glue here in this one. Now, next thing I want to do is start to wrap this on. And that biot has like an L shape to it. There, I told you I was going to tear it off. No big deal. We're just going to put it back on there. Tie it back on. And try wrapping it again. Now, there I got that L shape going the wrong way. So the L, the leg of the L, the bottom side of it, I want on the back side as I wrap. So I just wrap it a turn just to see which way it goes. And if it goes the wrong way like that, I switch it and go the other direction. So I get that little L standing up on the back side, as you can barely see there. If you do it on the front side, you don't get nice segmentation. So just wrap that up. Nice side-by-side wraps. You get a nice segmentation with this. Once we get up there behind that bead, we're going to wrap it off. Make a couple wraps, and then cut that off. Cut or tear, whichever one. Next thing we're going to add is just a little bit of dubbing. For this dubbing, I'm using some pattern blends here. This is brown stone. Use whatever color you want here to match the nymphs in your area, but we're going very, very light. I'm using very, very little. You can see how much is on there. Just enough to put a little bump on this. This is a size 14. We're not making it, I mean, it's kind of big, but it's not humongous. So there we go. Make a little ball there. Start that off. Now we're going to put the legs on this fly. For the legs, I'm just using like a Brahma feather, some kind of hen feather. What we're going to do is I'm going to pluck out the point on it like that, and then we're going to cut that off and strip the feathers forward to make the legs. So here you see what I did there. Made a nice little V with the feathers. I cut the tip off out of there. Took about 5 or 6 on each side, pulled them back, just stripped them back, and that's going to make my legs. We're going to set this V down on top of the fly. I'm going to set it right on top like you see there, and then I'm going to pinch it in place. Both sides of that V, one down each side. Make 1 or 2 soft wraps and then a couple harder wraps. And that's going to create my legs down the side of this fly there, you can see. Takes a little practice, you'll get onto it. Just do it a couple hundred times like I do, and you'll get it. Just joking there. But anyways, next we're going to put on the emerging bubble on this fly. For that, I'm using some hairline dubbing. This is UV Shrimp Pink, okay? Again, use any color here. It's partially an emerger. It's partially a cider for this fly. So experiment with different colors. This would be great for, it's pale morning dun, but it would be great for a sulphur in my area in the springtime. Got a little bit too much on here. You don't want that much at all. You want almost less than I just put on the last time. So there you can see I got about a 1-inch little noodle of dubbing on there. I want to get it nice and tight, and then I'm going to stand it right up on top of my fly like this, straight up and down. I'm going to push that noodle down right tight on top of the fly and then make a wrap around. And that's just going to make a little ball. You see there, it's going to make a little ball on top of the fly, and it's going to be like the wings emerging out of the wing case here. Then we're going to come back in with a little bit more of this brownstone dubbing, and we're going to finish the collar off on this. Again, we don't need much. Don't overdo it here. That's going to be the easiest mistake to make here, is overdoing it. We're just going to pull that ball back, wrap back to them legs, and then come right back in there behind that bead and whip finish it off. And there we got a great looking fly. Whip finish and we're done. You can brush that out a little bit if you want, but I like it just like that. You got a nice little bubble there, a nice little hot spot, and it's kind of like the wings are about to pop out of its shell. Okay guys, hope you like that fly. I know I really do. I can't wait to try this on my stream. I'm tying this PMD, the Pale Morning Dun. I'm tying it that way, but when I look at it, I think sulphur. This is going to be a killer sulphur pattern for me in the spring. I'm always looking for something. This is going to be great for me because it's got a bead on it. It'll be awesome for swinging wet flies on my Euro rig. I'd like to do that a lot of times in the spring. If I get into a hatch right at evening and I'm out with my Euro rig, I want a little bead head to get me a little bit of weight, to get a little bit of cast on it. This one's going to fit right into my fly box. I know it's going to work for me. It's going to be great. So I think you're going to like it. The book that I found this in was Creative Fly Tying by Mike Mercer. It's a really great book. It's one that I came across that I just added a bunch of books to my latest library. And this one's a really good one. I like it. Some neat patterns in there. I'll probably share some more from it over time. But he ties this, he tells the story about how he came across it in Montana, how he created it while he was out there fishing for a big fish that he missed one day and went back for it the next day and figured it out with this fly. Really cool pattern. He ties it in different colors to match different hatches, and uses that little cider, uses the little hot spot on top as a cider too. Not a cider, but for the fish, an attractant for the fish. So tie it in bright colors, tie it in natural colors, experiment and see what works. You know, match the hatch in your area and experiment with things, guys. That's what fishing is all about. Fly fishing is all about experimenting and having fun. That's why tying is so much fun. Catching fish on something that you created. So have fun. If you need any of these flies or any of the material to tie them, you can find them at holsingersflyshop.com. Thanks guys for watching them. If you like this, please give me the thumbs up and give me a comment down below. The comments really help boost the post up. So any comments and thumbs up and stuff, that always helps out. Thanks for watching guys. Until next week when I bring you another video, I'm Sean Holsinger.